You're going to be under arrest for capital murder. Capital murder.
Meet Michael Paton, a 39-year-old scientist working on rockets for Raytheon. He thinks he's pretty smart, but even smart folks can't escape trouble. On February 19, 2021, the police rushed to Michael's house after a shooting. Surprised, Michael had called 911, supposedly confessing to killing his wife, kids, and even their pets. When the cops got there, Michael, standing outside with his gun, changed his story. Now, he said he didn't know if his family was alive. Firefighters found his wife, Tamara, and her teenage son and daughter dead in the house. Michael's news story confused the police. They weren't sure if the 911 call was a prank or if someone was framing Michael for a crime he didn't commit. Despite the confusion, they arrested Michael and took him to the station for questioning by Detective Joshua Armstrong. With the detective's skill in mind games and no clear evidence, Michael, the brainy scientist, faced a tough interrogation. It's a showdown between a genius and an expert detective, making this case one of the craziest I've ever heard of.
Let me get the person that's going to swab your hands real quick, and then we'll do that and get those handcuffs off of you, okay? You need something?
I'll just sit here and wait.
Can't you need something to drink or anything?
Please.
Water, okay?
Anything. This one. I'm so confused.
Michael, was that quick enough for you, brother? You go by Mike or Michael?
Usually Mike. Usually Mike.
Okay. Can you stand up for me? I'm gonna get them handcuffs off of you, okay? This is who I was talking about was gonna take a swab of your hands, okay? Are you okay with her doing that?
Michael looks all mixed up and not comfortable. He was walking around the room, and Detective Armstrong began by asking him simple questions about his job. This is on purpose to see if Michael is thinking clearly. If he is, then we'll figure out if the confusion is real or just an act.
We don't know what's going on. I think our hope was that you would help us figure out what's going on as much as us help you figure out what's going on.
I don't know what happened.
You sound really short of breath. Do you have asthma or medical condition or anything? Or are you just tired or?
I'm stressed out.
Just really stressed?
The detective asked Michael if he was ever in the military, wanting to know about his past.
Is it like classified type of stuff or?
No, I have my classified, or I've been cleared classified, but I don't work on a classified program currently.
Okay. Forgive me, I don't know much about. I wasn't in much about.
I'm still learning.
How did you get in? Were you in the military? Is that how you got into that, or?
I'll have to do that later after I get my degree.
Is that something anybody can do, or like, do you need some kind of? What's the degree in?
My degree is in engineering physics.
Okay, so that's why that's the physics part of this.
Not necessarily for what I do right now, but I can use it. Just if I understand electronics and schematics.
I don't understand any electronics or schematics. Were you in the military at all?
I was in the Marine Corps.
And how long were you there?
6 years.
6 years? And did you get deployed at all?
I got injured on prep for deployment, so I didn't go. I hurt my ankle.
Bad or?
Sprained it real bad, enough that it delayed me past.
You know, detectives are super good at making people spill the beans in the interrogation room. Well, Michael, the guy they're talking to, usually makes up stories about all the awesome stuff he's done, especially in the military. But now he might be thinking it's better to fess up and tell the truth to the detective. Maybe he doesn't want to take a chance lying about little things and just wants to keep his big secret hidden.
You got a pretty impressive background between the Marine Corps and then the Raytheon stuff.
Try.
Well, tell me a little bit. I don't know anything about you, Michael. I'm trying to piece together the puzzle. I think the same way you are. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, what do you like doing? What's your family like? And who, I mean.
My wife and I have been together since I was 19 and she was 18. We have 2 kids. She's a nurse. Her daughter's a swimmer. Pretty good. Son's high functioning autistic, but he manages some days. Other days the Adderall doesn't help. I like music.
You collect vinyl? A lot of it?
I just started not too long ago, probably 2 years ago.
How much do you think you got?
40, 50 albums.
Oh, okay.
I'm not hardcore yet. I like music. I like hanging out with my kids. I've been binge watching a TV show lately. Just on do an episode or two.
What show is it?
Supernatural.
You seen Supernatural? I don't know that I've even heard of it.
So we've been watching that. Play video games every once in a while, but I'm not that into it. It's just something to occupy my time. Been getting back into working out recently. Trying to better myself.
You going to the gym or doing it at home?
Gym, but we're working on buying something for the house.
Like a home gym thing? You go in the garage? What, you said your son's high-functioning autistic. How old is your son?
So Michael talks about his son and daughter like they're still around. It seems he forgets stuff, but only when it's about his family. The evil genius, on the other hand, remembers things like when he began collecting music down to the exact time.
Say high-function. There's so many different kinds of autism out there. What is his specific?
He's anxiety. He was kind of not antisocial, but busy social environments. He had a delayed learn. He didn't speak until he was 4. And so usually, like I said, the Adderall tends to help. Some days it does and some days it doesn't. He's very easily addicted to screens.
Addicted to what?
Screens like video games, his phone,
Man.
stuff like that. He does taekwondo. He seems to enjoy that. That gives him some structure.
Focus.
Yeah. It gives him something like specific movements, and he's able to practice it. And
How old was your daughter? How old is she? You said she does some swimming stuff?
The detective talked about the daughters in a tricky way, using the past tense. It's a way to make things a bit tense, called the re-technique. Surprisingly, Michael quickly figured it out. Most people who didn't know what happened to their family wouldn't focus so much on the detective's words as Michael did.
why did you say?
I'm just trying to learn who your family is. I don't know anything about them.
You said how old she was.
I don't know why I said that. I'm just trying to figure out about your family. He's really trying to figure about you, and
She swims whatever events. The meets are open, and you schedule whatever events that you want the kids to swim. It's not structured. I mean, sometimes the coaches will say, "I want you in this event."
like the different strokes and like Michael Phelps kind of stuff, like the butterfly and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's only 4 strokes.
Why do you think we're here today? I'm confused on why we are here. You don't remember anything from today?
The thing I think of is the other day, my wife was. We've been working lately. We've been struggling a little bit. I've been trying to work on it. I was going to counseling. I haven't been in a few weeks. So I've been going to counseling and struggling. Saturday night, she had one of the guns and was saying that their only way out.
Say that one more time.
She said the only way out was to basically go something in the room. And I wouldn't leave her alone. I kept trying to get the gun away from her. After about 2 hours, I got it away from her. But, basically, if I called in to try to get her some help, they'd take her personal license away. And I didn't know what to do. Her best friend came over, and she ended up staying the night. And maybe that was Sunday night, because then she was there all day Monday when we were working. And been watching. I've been afraid that she was going to hurt herself. I hit the guns.
See how Michael doesn't look at the detective much except when the detective talks tough. Then Michael stares without blinking, like he's daring the detective. Once he's sure the detective doesn't know much, Michael starts telling a story about his wife being suicidal, trying to explain her death.
And so you said you hid the guns? Where'd you hide those at?
I had one of them was up in my office that I didn't use it this week, but I've been using it for a few months. In the extra bedroom upstairs. And it was up there. And then the other one was, I had it in a bag. I was planning on putting him in my truck and trying to find a friend to take him to for a little while until it blew over, and I felt like she was better.
How many guns do y'all have?
2.
Are they both handguns or rifles? It's both handguns. Do you know what they are?
There's a Walther, it's a 22 and a 9mm Springfield.
Springfield. I used to have a Springfield 9mm. I traded it for a Glock.
I never liked Glocks.
I didn't like them until I started carrying them. I learned to love them.
Michael wants to make it seem like his wife was upset and not thinking straight when she tragically harmed her kids and herself. He might try to use this as an excuse for what happened to his family, but he hasn't figured out the details of his plan.
Your wife ever had any suicidal stuff prior to this week?
A couple of years ago, she had thoughts of it. We worked through it. We worked through it.
Worked through it. Has she ever had any kind of a medical treatment for it or anything like that?
She just started opening up about when she was in middle school or high school. She went to counseling. Just recently told me that, she was abused when she was a kid. And that's why she's been not wanting to go to therapy with me, because she doesn't like the experience.
Physical abuse or sexual abuse?
Told from what she's told me.
Do you know who it was that done it to her, like a family or boyfriend?
I think it was friends of her dad and maybe her stepdad. She told me about one, including when she was living with her dad in Michigan. There was the neighbor. She was babysitting and woke up to him over her, and there was other ones that she didn't tell me about. She told me.
Oh, so it's like not just one thing, or not just one person, kind of multiple.
And so she's struggled with that before, and so like I said, we worked through it, and I've been trying to work through the issues that we've been having. I've never been great with sharing my emotions, and that's why I went to counseling. Trying to be a better husband, a better dad. I've been able to reconnect with my kids a lot. Like, we have a lot more conversations, and daughter opens up to me a lot more.
Have you ever read the book 5 Love Languages?
Detective Armstrong asks Michael once more about his beliefs in God and stuff, just to make sure his memory and thinking are all good.
What all religions was it that you studied in that class that you kind of took bits and pieces from?
Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, Hindi or Hindu. I always struggle with how you classify that.
No, you man lie. Did you ever read the Quran?
I never
Quran. Am I saying it right? Is it Quran or Quran?
I think it's Quran, but I never read it. I just kind of studied what it was about and kind of some of the things that it taught.
I've got a lot of buddies that were in the Marine Corps, and for some reason it was a popular thing among them to read the Quran. But I think it was because they were deployed overseas, and it was a book that every house they went into it was easily readily available. So it was just something to kill time or whatever. So I've got a lot of buddies that that's not their religion, but while they were overseas they read the Quran just because it was there, I guess.
Once the detective is sure that Michael is thinking clearly, they begin to ask him about what happened before he came in.
Then,
Well, Mike, can you just walk me through what you do remember from today, and that way we can kind of try to piece together why we're here today?
We were working. We were talking to one of my coworkers. Maybe 4. I think I took a shower. And I came back down. The wife and I were talking about wanting to buy a new mattress. The one we have is too soft. It dips really bad in the middle.
Is it normal for you not to remember your day?
No.
You feel like
It happened the other night. When my best friend came over, I was still awake. It was, I don't know what time it was. And they had passed out in the bed, and I didn't want to intrude or anything, so I set up the couch. Before I lay down on the couch, passed out, and my wife actually came out to just check on me, and she found me on the floor.
what happened?
I don't know, I passed out. I don't know. I was tired. I remember standing there thinking I could get on the couch, and then I woke up on my back on the floor.
Michael's acting clueless again, pretending he doesn't know what happened. He even said he has a bad memory, but the detective isn't buying it.
And try to go chronological throughout your day today, from the time you woke up, and what happened, what you did, what you ate, what you did for breakfast, and what you did for lunch, and what you did for work, and just kind of see if maybe you can piece together, what happened today and why we can't remember it. Do you remember what you ate for breakfast?
I didn't.
No breakfast at all?
Toast at about 11.
Did you eat anything for lunch, or was that your lunch, the toast? Did you eat anything for dinner tonight?
So, well,
You don't remember at all?
I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm trying to remember what I worked on today. Just talk to somebody I can't remember, and I don't know what to do.
Do you remember the police coming to your house this evening?
remember being on the sidewalk on my face.
Detective Armstrong is patient, waiting for Michael to spill about what he ate that night. It's kinda cool how Michael remembers lots of things from other days, but when it comes to the day of the crime, he's like, I don't know.
You called 911 tonight? 911? And you told the dispatcher that you wanted to kill yourself. Do you know why you would tell them that you wanted to kill yourself?
In the last 10 years, there's been 3 times that I've wanted to kill myself. If I'd said that tonight, if you want me to be honest with you.
In the last 10 years, you wanted to kill yourself 3 different times?
There's 3 moments.
3 moments?
And I never did it.
What are those 3 moments?
One of them I got, before I went back to school, I got screwed over. Boss. Everything had been going really good. I didn't see it coming. I didn't protect myself. I failed my wife. I failed the kids. We were in a really bad place as far as financials go. And I wasn't doing well coping with it. It was a hit to me. And there had been rumors that my wife had slept with a coworker. She told me it wasn't true, but it was just another piece.
Something else to add some stress. How were you wanting to hurt yourself today? I want to help you, Mike, but you've got to remember.
Been trying to jar my memory, walk through my day. That's what I was doing the whole time I was in the back of that car.
So the detective listens to Michael talking about his life. Then the detective asks about Michael's wife, and it seems like Michael can quickly switch from not remembering the day to remembering lots of details in just a few seconds.
Other than like what she ate, did your wife work from home today too, or she going
She
to?
always does.
Huh?
She works remote.
Did she?
Yeah, it's permanent remote for her.
Did she do that today?
Every day.
What are her off days?
Saturday and Sunday.
So she worked today then. Yes,
Yes.
Today's Friday. Do y'all work in the same room or separate rooms?
This week we worked in the same room, just trying to save electricity and heat and everything with what's been going on with the weather and stuff. And so we were trying to condense where we were so we didn't have to heat as much and use as much electricity. So I sat in the chair and she was on the bed. And we were being pretty playful, bantering. I remember that. We were sending her some playful texts.
Sending her texts like while you're in the same room together, or?
Yeah, because we've always done that.
Yeah, just kind of keeping things fun.
While she's, in a meeting, I can't necessarily see things and stuff.
So does she see patients? Like, is she like FaceTiming patients, or?
They contract a pharmaceutical company.
Okay. Well, I think we're getting a little bit further because you remember sending text messages to your wife today. So
That's earlier.
Now, if he was really smart, he wouldn't have talked to the cops without a lawyer. It's pretty easy to see that Michael is guilty. He's just trying to fool the detective with a not-so-clever act. But he's in for a surprise because his performance won't get him an Oscar, and he's headed to jail.
I'm sorry.
you're perfectly fine. You are going to be under arrest, okay? And you're going to be taken over to the Collin County Jail. You're going to be under arrest for capital murder. Capital murder. You caught me a minute ago whenever I used past tense instead of present tense.
No. Well, down.
Here's what I need you to do, Michael, okay? I need you to stand up and turn around and face that wall for me, okay?
Stand up for me.
Turn around, put your hands on the floor here. No, don't put your hands on the wall, just face the wall, okay?
No. No, I didn't. Did not hurt anyone.
The detective got fed up with Michael's fake act. What's interesting is how Michael uses silly behaviors, pretending he doesn't remember anything and even acting like a kid caught stealing a cookie. It's crazy that Michael thought he could fool the detective and get away with it. But guess what? He called 911 and straight up admitted to his crime. Even though he tried to act all innocent saying, "I would never," the detective Armstrong nailed him. He got caught for his crimes. Detective Armstrong made a detailed report listing things Michael remembered, like having a toast at 11 and sending sweet texts to his wife. This proves Michael isn't as clueless as he pretended to be. In the end, Michael Paton got a life sentence in prison with no chance of parole. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more gripping stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.